Have you ever wondered where the world's largest city is? You might think you already know the answer, but I promise it's probably not what you're thinking. Today, we're going to find out where the world's largest city really is, whether it's by population, area, or something else. Let's dive in. Now, before we get to the big reveal, let's break it down. What exactly makes a city the largest? Is it the number of people, the size of the land, or maybe how many skyscrapers it has? Stick around, and you'll find out. So when we talk about the largest cities in the world, what does that even mean? Are we talking about the most people, the most space, or just the most famous? Well, it turns out largest can mean a lot of different things. Some cities are the biggest because they have the most people, while others might be the largest because they cover the most land. So let's look at both of those and see where things stand. First up, let's talk about Tokyo, Japan. This city is home to over 37 million people when you count the entire greater Tokyo area. That's more than the population of some entire countries. What's amazing about Tokyo is how it mixes tradition with modern life. You can visit a centuries-old temple, and then in the next block, you're walking through neon-lit streets full of tech gadgets and trendy shops. It's truly one of a kind. One of the things that blew me away when I visited Tokyo was how safe, clean, and easy it was to get around. Even though there are so many people, it never felt chaotic. I was able to explore, relax, and take in the sights without stress. Now, if we're talking about size, New York City is another contender. While it doesn't have as many people as Tokyo, it covers over 300 square miles, making it one of the largest cities in the world by area. That's a lot of space for a city. But what makes New York truly special isn't just its size, it's the energy, the culture, and the people who call it home. New York City is made up of 5 boroughs: Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, and Staten Island. Each of them feels like its own little world, offering something unique and exciting. You could spend an entire day just exploring Brooklyn's food scene, from classic New York pizza to trendy coffee shops. Then you head over to Manhattan, where the towering skyscrapers and famous landmarks will leave you in awe. And let's not forget about Queens. It's considered the most diverse borough, home to some of the best international cuisine you'll find anywhere. One of my favorite things about New York is that no matter how many times you visit, you'll never run out of things to do. One moment, you're walking through the historic streets of Greenwich Village, and the next, you're taking a ferry to see the Statue of Liberty. And even though the city is massive, the subway makes it surprisingly easy to get around. Whether you love art, history, shopping, or just soaking in the energy of the city, there's something here for you. That's why they call it the city that never sleeps. And trust me, once you've been here, you'll understand exactly why so many people dream of making it in New York. So, if you ever get the chance to visit, be ready to explore. Because in a city this big, there's always something new waiting for you around every corner. So, whether you're in Tokyo, New York, or any other huge city, getting around can be overwhelming. But don't worry, I've got a few tips that made my travels a whole lot easier. Tip number 1, use public transportation. If you're in a big city, driving around is not the best idea. Public transportation is your best friend. It's fast, easy to use, and helps you avoid getting stuck in traffic. Tip number 2, plan your day. Big cities have so much to offer, it can be hard to know where to start. Planning ahead means you can get the most out of your day and make sure you don't miss anything important. Tip number 3, immerse yourself in the local culture. Take the time to enjoy local food, music, and traditions. Whether you're grabbing a quick bite from a street food cart or sitting down for a fancy dinner, there's so much to learn from the people around you. Of course, Tokyo and New York aren't the only contenders. There are a few other cities that give them a run for their money when it comes to being the largest in the world. Each of these cities has its own unique charm, culture, and massive population that makes them stand out on the global stage. Take Mexico City, for example. With over 20 million people in its metro area, it's one of the biggest cities in the world by population. While it might not feel as densely packed as Tokyo, it still has an energy that's absolutely contagious. The city is a cultural powerhouse, blending ancient Aztec history with Spanish colonial influences in a thriving modern art scene. Whether you're wandering through the historic streets of Centro Histórico, exploring the colorful neighborhood of Coyoacán, or tasting some of the best street food on the planet, Mexico City offers something for everyone. And let's be honest, if you haven't tried authentic tacos in Mexico City, have you really lived? Then there's São Paulo, Brazil. the largest city in South America, with over 22 million people in its metro area. This city is known for its fast-paced lifestyle, diverse neighborhoods, and an incredible mix of cultures thanks to its strong Italian, Japanese, and Portuguese influences. São Paulo is also a foodie's paradise. From high-end dining to classic Brazilian street food, there's no shortage of amazing flavors here. And if you're into nightlife, the city has some of the best in the world. You could dance the night away to samba, funk, or electronic beats without ever running out of options. Now, let's talk about Beijing, China's massive capital. With a population of over 21 million, it's not just a political and economic hub. It's also a city where ancient history meets cutting-edge modernity. You can walk through the centuries-old Forbidden City in the morning and then experience futuristic skyscrapers in the evening. And let's not forget about the food. From world-famous Peking duck to sizzling street food, Beijing's culinary scene is legendary. The city is a dream for history buffs, food lovers, and adventure seekers alike. So, while Tokyo and New York often get the spotlight, these cities prove that there's more than one way to be the biggest and the best. Whether it's through culture, population, or sheer energy, each of them leaves a lasting impression on anyone who visits. During my travels, I've learned so much from these megacities. The energy, the people, and the experiences have all shaped how I view the world. Here's my advice. Don't let the size of a city scare you. Sure, they're huge, but that's part of what makes them so exciting. There's always something new around the corner. So, where's the world's largest city? Well, it depends on how you look at it. Tokyo might be the largest by population. New York City is massive in size, and other cities like Mexico City and São Paulo aren't far behind. But one thing's for sure, each of these cities has something special to offer. You might be thinking, could the world's largest city be your next travel destination? Imagine the adventures waiting in a city that's bigger than you ever imagined. If you're wondering how to make this dream a reality, I've got you covered. Whether it's time or budget that's holding you back, I've put together an easy guide to help you travel smarter and save more, no matter what city you're visiting next. Click the link below to get started and make your dream trip to the world's largest city happen today. Thanks for joining me today on this journey to uncover the world's largest city. I hope you learned something new and that you're inspired to visit these places one day. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your fellow travel lovers. Until next time, keep exploring.